As you see here, I've done a search for the richest companies in the United States. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going forward, continue to talk about wealth, money, the economy, and what I see going on behind the scenes. I can see the invisible issue. Now, I'm not here to state that this is going to be able to solve every problem in the world, nor is it going to solve every problem in various countries. But I can tell you this, it can solve a problem I see here on social media in the United States, right? Particularly the platform you're watching this on right now. With that being said, why are you poor? Or another way to put it, why are you broke? Or why are you creating content and giving it away for free while begging someone to advertise on your platform so you can get pennies? I'll wait a few seconds. See, what you'll notice is that on this channel there are no ads. Not because it's a new channel, but because that's not even the point, right? Advertisements, and when I say no ads, I mean no YouTube ads, right? So am I saying, oh, YouTube advertising is evil? Nope. They advertised on television, right? Before social media, there was television. You would watch a TV show and they would have a commercial before it, during it, and or after it, right? And so basically YouTube has morphed into television on the internet. It just means you can control which channels you watch better, right? On the old school televisions, especially before cable, you had a few channels. So here's what I mean. People on YouTube bragging about how much money they make, right? But I notice that they have ads running on their page. So you're getting money from YouTube ads, not because you created something of value. You're talking trash about current events and gossip, things that are usually useless. You're not talking about how to create or build anything, nothing innovative, nothing that requires skill. You're just talking trash and gossiping, talking about things that don't really matter, right, as far as helping someone to educate themselves. And you're hoping, praying, wishing, and or begging YouTube to allow you to place their ads in your videos in the hopes that somebody won't skip the ad and then you can get paid. All right, so I just want you all to know that's what's going on when people that's doing that. That is when they have a trash channel which talks about nothing of any importance. I didn't say because they cover a current event or two or talk about current events that means it's always trash, right? Sometimes we want to talk about what's going on. But you know what I'm talking about. These trash, garbage channels where they're just talking just so they can get paid because they know they have no other skill. All right, with that being said, so that's the problem. So I'm gonna show you these biggest United States companies, and we're gonna see if we can't find a common thread amongst them all, even though they're different companies. So I can tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with YouTube though, right? Meaning the people on YouTube in their efforts. So some people will say, well, I'm doing fine. I'm getting paid on YouTube, or I'm getting paid on TikTok, or I'm getting paid on Facebook, or I'm getting paid on social media. I want to show you all here. Although this is from the encyclopedia, it also comes from the Bible. So I'm just showing you, right? Basically, the laborer is worthy of his hire. It means that if somebody labors or does any sort of work in providing you a product or a service, that they are worthy of getting paid. They deserve to get paid. But you have dum-dums and idiots with a poverty mindset who thinks that every damn thing somebody does should be free, right? So I'm going to show you. Now I put up a video about the music streaming industry yesterday. And even though it was going to be at the end, I ended up putting some information about Pharrell, right? The musical artist who made the song Happy. And I showed you how that even though his song was streamed 43 million times, matter of fact, let me put that up. Right, let me just show you. So this is what I pulled up. How much money did Pharrell make off Happy? Pharrell Williams' hit Happy was streamed 43 million times on the popular streaming service Pandora. Pandora is nothing but social media in the form of music. That's all it is. But don't let that number fool you. It only created a revenue of about $2,700. Now, if this was in the time of cassette tapes or compact disc, that means people would have had to buy the single 43 million times or listen to it on the radio some of those times. So let's say if just 5 million people had to buy a CD with that song and perhaps another song or two, to make it a single with 2 or 3 songs on it, that would have made him about $5 million just for 5 million purchases. And guess what? I think he deserved it. If it's his song, why not? If you like the song that much, why shouldn't he get paid? Now, some of you may disagree, but what you don't know is that Pandora got paid way more than $2,700. Oh, it's not free. They got paid way more than $2,700, and they didn't even create the song. And that is the hidden issue number one. For all of you who are basically stupid, there's no other way to say it. You could be ignorant too, right? So first, let me show you what ignorant means. Right? Because I don't want to insult anybody. Right? Let's look up the definition of ignorant.
Ignorant.
It's an adjective, and it means lacking knowledge or awareness in general, uneducated or unsophisticated. All right, so if you don't know something, you're ignorant. It just means you don't know. Right? But now let's look up stupid.
Stupid.
Stupid is an adjective, and it means having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. And by the way, I'm not going to shorten this video. So if your attention span is short, that means you're just going to miss out on an important message. But I'm okay with that if you are, right? First thing we got to do as human beings is grow an attention span. Instead of spending 4 and 5 hours watching a damn television that teaches us nothing, or watching gossip and foolishness on social media, you need to learn something. That's whether you learn it from me or not. Learn something from somebody. Read a book, right? Because you're not working all day. You're not studying all day, 7 days a week. No, you're not. People are wasting time doing things that don't even matter. So you got time to pay attention. So if you show a great lack of intelligence, that's different. That means even when you have the knowledge, you don't know how to use or comprehend the knowledge. So it's worse to be stupid than it is to be ignorant. See, we can fix your ignorance, but it's going to take a little more work to fix your stupidity. So now why are we looking at that? Now we're going to go back, right, to our original search with Pharrell. If you believe that he is not worthy to get paid off these millions of streams, more than $2,700, then you shall reap what you sow, because God heard your thoughts and your speech. And YouTube heard it too, which is why you probably spend more time watching than you do creating. And even if you do create, you spend more time watching and creating than you do earning. The people, which are the masses, who think that everything to help them should be free, but that they deserve to be paid for their work, are in violation of this law. If you as a laborer at your job is worthy of your hire, meaning you want your paycheck every 2 weeks or every month or however often you get paid, that means someone else who creates an alphabet, and they are rich. And you're begging for somebody to put ads on your channel. Now, why would anybody advertise on a platform but nobody buys anything? Are we going to get to it today? If somebody makes a course about how to become a songwriter or a musician, would you want to pay for it? If it's a good course, you should pay for it. What if somebody creates a course on how to make candles, how to make lotions and potions? Would you want to pay for it? Or would you try to look for a free video to show you how to make candles at home so that you could try to make the candles and then ask somebody to pay you for the candle that you did not even want to pay to learn how to make? Do you see the problem? You want somebody to teach you how to make the candles, teach you how to be a songwriter, teach you how to make lotions and potions so that for free, so that you can charge somebody else for the product that you didn't even have enough love for to pay for the knowledge. If you don't think I'm worthy of my hire, you are not worthy of any hire yourself. If you don't think the next man or woman is worthy to be paid for what they produce, you are not worthy to be paid for what you produce. Facts. Nobody's saying you should waste your money, but your time is more important than your money, because once you spend your time, you can never get it back. So don't go throughout your whole life thinking that you're going to break this law. Stop looking for everything for free and be willing to pay for some real knowledge, information, and innovation, right? And some of you will agree, but there are some people be thinking, oh yeah, he's upset because somebody is not buying what he's selling. I'm not even selling anything on this channel. So you're ignorant at best and stupid at most if you think that. Oh yeah, but I might sell something later on, or I might create a different channel just for the purpose of selling, and I have no shame in saying that. What's the point of being online if you're going to do everything for free while making the company that you do it for rich? That's the reason they can sell you advertisements, because somebody has to be on here consuming content created by creators. So now let me show you these companies, right? Berkshire Hathaway, the current CEO is Warren Buffett. And it looks like he's been the CEO since 1970. Oh, he's had a long career, huh? ExxonMobil, right? CEO Darren Woods. Amazon, CEO Andy Jassy, right? Because Jeff Bezos stepped down a while back. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, because Bill Gates stepped down a while back. Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai, if I'm pronouncing that right. Right? So it's not Larry Page or Sergey Brin who created Google, because Alphabet is the company that owns Google. Let me show you here. See? It was created through a restructuring of Google on October 2nd, 2015. Alphabet, all right? Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. So let's get to it. Why are we looking at these companies? Let's see how Berkshire Hathaway makes his money. So there are a lot of people who hate rich people. I don't. I don't hate them because they're rich or love them because they're rich. I just have an interest in knowing what they do and how they became rich, right? Because your love for someone should never be solely based on whether they have money or not, but rather what type of person they are or what type of business they have created, right? Does the business help society or does it harm society? Anyway, Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated is an American multinational conglomerate. All right. So a conglomerate is basically a group of companies working together, right? To conglomerate meaning you putting a bunch of companies together. Holding company, headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska, United States. Now watch this. Its main business and a source of capital. In other words, the capital is its revenue, its money, its wealth, its profit. The way Berkshire Hathaway gets paid, the main way it gets paid, is insurance. Now let's pause there. I thought insurance was something you pay a premium for, and then you file an insurance claim when something happens. Whether it's health insurance, when you need to go to the hospital or the doctor, you file a claim for the health insurance to pay for those services, those medical services. Life insurance, if somebody dies, you file a claim saying that the person died and it's time for the life insurance company to pay. Car insurance, somebody hits your car, you file a claim so the insurance company can pay for the repairs. So how are they able to make so much profit? Because this is a multi-billion-dollar company. How are they able to make so much profit if they're paying so many claims? And I thought insurance fraud was such a problem. They were losing, right? That's BS. From which it invests. Watch this here. It, meaning Berkshire Hathaway, invests a part of your money if you're insured through any of their companies. The float. So without even looking up what it means, the float means any extra money they have left after the people pay their insurance premium. So if you collect an insurance premiums from 1 million people and they're paying $100 a month, then that's $100 million a month coming in from a bunch of people who don't want to get sick, so they don't want to file the insurance claim for the health. They don't want to die, so they don't want to file the life insurance claim. And they don't want to have a car wreck, so they don't want to file the car insurance claim. So they do everything they can to keep paying you $100 million a month and not need you to file a claim. That's how this company makes a profit, right? Wouldn't it be nice if you didn't file a claim, you get that money back? Some insurance is like that, but it's usually not car insurance. But let's continue, right? Because if I start sharing what that is, guess what? I'm going to put it into a course and I'm going to charge people for it because I am worthy of my hire. See, this is labor, what I'm doing now, right? So there's a certain portion of my labor I'm willing to give away for free. But if you're going to get the nuts and bolts and I'm going to do a deep dive into something, oh, you're going to pay me, right? And I'm not going to beg YouTube to show ads on my channel. I'm not going to start gossiping and talking about trash just so I can get a bunch of followers who learn nothing, do nothing, and create nothing. And you make YouTube richer, you make these other companies richer, and then you hope for a few kibbles and bits from the advertisement. That's not how I'm going to operate. Let's continue. Which it invests the float, right, in a broad portfolio, diversified investments of subsidiaries. In other words, child companies, right? Equity positions and the other securities. Now they just said a whole lot right there. So here's the question. They're rich by keeping the money that the people give them in case they have a health incident, a death, or a car accident, or whatever other insurance it might be. Could the people do this for themselves if they trusted each other? If they knew how to trust each other in a business? Could they put this into a fund themselves and invest their own float in something that would benefit them? But the people don't trust each other, so they would rather turn over their information to Berkshire Hathaway, who manages them, because the people don't know how to manage themselves. You can't make this up. So I just gave you a clue right there. And this is not meant to be grandiose, right? I'm affected by this stuff as well. But just because I'm affected by it doesn't mean I am asleep and can't see what's going on. We should at least be thinking, using our mind to figure out how to get free from certain things. Let's look at ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil Corporation is an American multinational oil and gas corporation and the largest direct descendant of John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil. I'm sure you heard that name, Rockefeller. You probably didn't know he had something to do with Exxon, did you? Where you get your gas from. ExxonMobil is one of the world's largest oil and gas companies whose shares are freely traded on the open securities market. So we know why there's money there. Everybody driving cars, buying oil and gas. And guess what? I'm okay with that because I do not believe in these electric vehicles. That's nonsense. They want you to have electric vehicles so they can turn your car off remotely and stop you, so they won't have to chase you when they're looking for a crime suspect. I'm just putting it out there, right? So you might say, well, as long as you're not a criminal, you're okay. Yeah, okay. Ask Philando Castile how that turned out. If they can stop your car remotely, you're done. You're a sitting duck, whether you're innocent or guilty. Just putting it out there. So I'm okay with them using oil and gas, but I would be more okay with them using the water, like some inventors created, where you could drive your car by using H2O, water. Yes. Oh, but they don't want you to be able to use that because that's too clean. And the people might be able to keep some of the wealth that they are donating, or excuse me, paying to ExxonMobil. Let's keep going. That inventor who created a way for you to drive your car with water, he was worthy of his hire. But I don't think he's alive. I don't know. I think somebody may have killed him. You know, maybe it was just a coincidence. They wouldn't kill somebody who could take all that money from an oil company, would they? All righty. Let's keep going. Yeah, they wouldn't kill their competition, would they? Maybe you could look that up and see. Amazon.com Incorporated. I'm sure you know about them. Is an American multinational. You see how this thing keeps repeating? Every time we're reading something, it's an American multinational, right? Technology company focusing on e-commerce. I thought they sold books at first, years ago when they first started. No, they focused on e-commerce. Their plan was to never just stop with books. They had an invisible goal that you couldn't see. You're going to hear me keep saying invisible goals and things, because I'm trying to get you to see that that's what you need. Cloud computing, online advertising, digital streaming, digital streaming, digital streaming. That's your music. Where the artist, the songwriter, and the musician get paid nothing. They're starving. Right? And artificial intelligence. Oh, artificial intelligence. What does that have to do with Amazon? Maybe that's how they know what book to suggest to you or what product to suggest to you. This stuff is not new. They've been suggesting you products. People who bought this book also bought that one. People who bought this product also bought that one. See? That's also artificial intelligence. It's just another form. See, you think artificial intelligence is a self-driving car. No, artificial intelligence is what follows you and tracks your behavior and offers you suggestions based on what you and other people like you and in your area and with your income do when they're shopping. So they know exactly what to show you so that you're most likely to buy. All right. Look here. Amazon is the world's largest online retailer by market cap. The company began as an online bookseller. See? I remember when they were just an online bookseller. When I created an Amazon account, the reason I did it because I was looking for books. All right. And has grown to encompass virtually we already know what the rest of that is, everything. So it looks like they sell and do everything when really they do a few things. E-commerce being the main one. Cloud computing, which supports their e-commerce, is behind the scenes. Online advertising. Because you don't trust the mom and pop stores online, because you like to be able to review and leave ratings and reviews and report people to Amazon if they don't do right, because the masses don't trust each other. Everybody goes to one place to buy everything. See, instead of Amazon, you could have 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 different smaller stores owned by the people who could get a lot of the money themselves. But since you don't trust each other, you want somebody to be able to complain to about every little damn thing. Oh, they sent my package and the box was bent. Oh, it was supposed to get here Monday, but it got here Tuesday afternoon. I'm so inconvenienced. Oh, they sent me this electronic device, but the instructions weren't included, even though they gave you a link to download the instructions in a PDF. So since you don't trust each other, Amazon has put you all together under their umbrella, and now you can trust Amazon. And you got people complaining about Amazon's long hours and how they treat their workers. Well, when you go to them for guidance and leadership, you have submitted to their structure and their organizational rules. So I'm showing you a trend. People don't want to pay small mom and pop companies They only trust big companies. But then after you trust the big companies, they gather you all together and make you slaves to their system as employees who have to pay them, who have to get paid by them or get fired, or as customers who don't have anywhere else to shop that they can trust. But in the older days, you could trust smaller companies, local companies. Have we really made progress or not? Well, there's progress for Amazon. But where are all those small businesses that used to exist? Oh, I'm sorry, they closed up because you couldn't trust them because they were too small. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, and don't get me wrong, because I like Amazon as a company, right? I'm just showing you the trend here with all of these companies. See, people complain about small businesses or having to trust their fellow man or paying the laborer what they deserve to be paid. And so these large companies aggregate you into large clumps and they pool your money together, enriching themselves. And that's why they are supposedly able to provide better service. But then you complain about how they treat you when they get too big and the employees try to form unions and have strikes and all of that. They're treating you the way you ask them to treat you is what I'm trying to show you. Walmart is the one who really drove mom and pop businesses out of the neighborhood, not Amazon, right? Matter of fact, I could say that Amazon is a check and a balance on Walmart to keep them in check. Because really Walmart is the one who ran your small mom and pop grocery stores and businesses out of business, right? So that they could have a bunch of employees at Walmart who complain about everything next, just like they do. Now let's focus on some social media though, because that's really what I want to get to. Because I know what's going on social media, who's getting paid, who is not, how they're getting paid, and why the people who are pretending to be successful have to pretend, right? Or some of them think they are successful, not knowing they are totally dependent on something that could be cut off just like that with no legal remedy for them. Let's look at Alphabet. Alphabet Incorporated is an American multinational. You see, you're going to see that almost every time. Technology conglomerate. Why are they always American multinational and often conglomerates? I'll let you figure that out. Or if I figure it out and show it to you, you will pay me for my information. Oh, yes, you will. Yep. Instead of me talking about gossip and BS and then begging YouTube to put ads on here, who's going to buy anything? Because you all want everything for free. Who would want to advertise somewhere if they're trying to sell something to people who don't buy? The only thing you will buy is a car, a truck, a house, some food, or some sort of phone or gaming system. You know why? Because you can't download it. If you could download a house, you would steal that too. If you could download a car, you would do that and you wouldn't want to pay these car manufacturers. So that shows people's real heart and their true intent. But you want somebody to give you your paycheck every week or every 2 weeks. I'm going to continue to say that. And if it insults you, that's good. You need to be insulted if you're a thief. If you're okay with stealing music from musicians, but you want somebody to pay you for flipping a damn burger with a bad attitude, and you get pissed off when somebody asks you to give them the hamburger with no cheese, right? You got people at these restaurants that will damn near curse you out because you tell them you don't want cheese on the burger, and they hate their job. You didn't tell them to take that damn job. Oh, I'm sorry, they're forced to take it because everything online is free because people like them want everything for free. So now you can't start an online business either unless you're selling real estate or a car, facts. Or you selling something in a deceptive way to make people think it's something that it's not. Or unless you do like what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it so real that the only people that'll be able to bear hearing the words that I'm saying are those who like absolute truth. Stop asking for everything for free and then getting mad when you can't get paid. The reason you can't get paid is because everything is free, including what you do. Facts. Uh, and I say people that put information on YouTube that is worth money and they put it on there for free, that's actually not wise. I'm not going to call them stupid because they might be getting paid another way too. But it's not wise because you're devaluing that information. People should pay for books. When you have a society that no longer values books, that's why they value TikTok more than the damn encyclopedia. Children swallowing Tide Pods and drinking Borax, doing dumb stuff online, risking their life just to get attention, just to get likes and shares and views, right? It's crazy. But that's what happens in a society where people value foolishness more than they value a damn book. A bunch of idiots, right? Let's keep going. Facebook. Look, now there are Meta Platforms Incorporated doing business as Meta and formerly named Facebook Incorporated and the Facebook Incorporated. Look at all the changes they've gone through. Is an American multinational technology conglomerate. You see that phrase keeps coming up. It's either going to be what you see there or it's going to at least be American multinational. I'll let you figure out why. Conglomerate. They keep putting a lot of stuff together and lumping businesses together because the people don't know how to unify and to lump themselves together. Why is Facebook rich and the people on there, many of them are not, but they're rich from the content that you create? I'll let you figure that out too. And the company owns and operates Facebook and Instagram. So Instagram is nothing but Facebook. They own that too. Threads, something new I believe they created to compete with Twitter. I've never even seen it or gone to it, but I know it exists, right? WhatsApp, that's owned by them too, among other products and services. You see? By contrast, some of the biggest losers are Meta, Facebook's parent company, and Alibaba. Meta has fallen across the rankings from number 26 in 2022 from number 6. Whatever, so who cares about that? They're still rich. All right, JP Morgan Chase, who we know gained a lot of their money in the beginning from slavery in the United States, which they admit. You know, the transatlantic slave trade that some people want to pretend didn't happen, or people want to pretend that was good for the slaves, right? That personal benefit thing has been blown way out of proportion. The slaves did not benefit from slavery, right? The only personal benefit that a single slave could have gotten was on a very, very small, minute scale, such as, hey, you were a slave who was forced to be a carpenter. So once you got freed from slavery, you might be able to use the same carpentry skills to build your house. That is a very, very small personal benefit. But you got people in Florida trying to make slavery look good. You can't make this stuff up. Anyway, JP Morgan Chase and Company is an American multinational financial services firm. We see the trend, don't we? Headquartered in New York City and incorporated in Delaware. It's a reason why they're incorporated in Delaware, because Delaware is friendly to the banks. They always have a P.O. box, but they want you to have a street address to get that credit card, don't they? They'll let you send your payments to a P.O. box in Delaware, won't they? But they want your name, date of birth, social security number, and your physical street address where they think you live and dwell. But they want you to send them a payment in obscurity to some address where no human being could reside. I'll let you figure out why they do that. See, this is what I'm talking about. The people got to wake the hell up. And if this means nothing to you, then that means you need to study. Or you need a course from somebody like me. I haven't created that course, but I should and probably will. Whether it's on this channel or I make up a new one just for that purpose. Right? Because when you know some of the things that I know, and I don't know everything, right? Because if I did, I'd already be doing more than what I am. But I know quite a bit, right? Some of it I learned through study. Some of it I learned because I paid somebody to teach me. Some of it I bought products and services, right? I paid the laborer for their hire. You see? Let's keep going. JP Morgan Chase serves millions of customers around the world and has a strong presence in the global financial markets. The company has a long history dating, we know where it dates back to. It dates back to slavery. Well, let's continue. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So now, with that being said, I want to share with you the hidden agenda of these companies that you think do stuff for you for free. All right? We know the banking industry is not free, but here's what I want to show you. Why does Facebook appear to let you use it for free, but they're rich? Why does Twitter, which is not on here, appear to be free, right? But they're rich. Why does Spotify let you have a free musical streaming account, but they're rich? I'm telling you, free is not free. Keep on asking for everything free, and that's why you're going to stay poor, because nobody is going to give you anything for free. Here's Apple. Let's see, because Apple makes a lot of money off music as well, but their artists do not. They got a market capitalization of, that must be the trillions, right? They wrote that in a different way. 2,514 billion. Looks like they're saying 2,514 billion. But anyway, Apple Incorporated is the most valuable company in the United States. Interesting. So, why does free, like Meta or Facebook, or like Alphabet, which is Google and YouTube put together, and they both let you use them for free, why are they so rich if what they do is free? Just a moment. All right, so now we are here, and I'm about to reward you for your diligence. If you have watched the video up to this point, what I'm about to show you now will make much more sense. If you skipped ahead to this point and somehow luckily landed right at this part, it may make some sense to you if you already have knowledge of what I'm talking about. But if you don't, then you need to go back and watch everything up to this point. You have to pay attention. That is a form of payment, people. When you pay attention, it's called that for a reason, because you're using your mind to focus on something, which is now why I'm going to reward you for paying attention. Now, I gave you some nuggets along the way to this part of the video already, but if you didn't see them, that also means you need to study, right? Collective intelligence. You may have heard of this phrase, you may not have. But if you have, this one phrase can change how you look at everything on social media. It can change how you look at a lot of things in life. So let's get to it. Collective intelligence refers to a group or a team's combined capacity and capability to perform a wide variety of tasks and to solve diverse problems. We're going to pause right there. You notice almost every company I pulled up earlier in this video, it would say that it is an American multinational conglomerate, or at least American multinational. Means it's international, so it has to go across diverse populations. You know, they always talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's not what this video is about today. Diverse just means different types, different things, different people, different places, different languages, different products, different services, different household incomes, different problems, right? But if they're a conglomerate, then they have a bunch of subsidiary companies that focus on solving different types of problems under one corporate umbrella. Now, collective intelligence has been found, watch this here, to consistently, you know what, they left the word be out, so they're missing a word. So let me read what they should have typed. Collective intelligence has been found to be consistently predictive of the future performance of groups and teams. So the word be should have been there after to. So what does it mean that collective intelligence has been found to be consistently predictive? That means it is consistent. It gets it right almost all the time when it's predicting the future. The predicting what future? The future performance of groups and teams. If you're watching this video on YouTube right now, you are a group of people. And YouTube is collecting intelligence from your activity. What video you watched, how long you watched it, whether you liked the video or not, whether you shared the video or not. Did you skip forward or backwards in it? Did you watch it 2 times, 3 times? They're tracking all of that. And they're tracking where you go when you leave here and when you come back, where you came from. They're tracking all of that. And that information has value. Why? Because they know how you behave. Let's continue. Now that article, that is an excerpt from the OxfordReview.com. So I don't know if that's the legit Oxford or they're just trying to look official by putting Oxford in their name, but it's probably them. It's probably them. Okay. But whether it's them or not, they're on point. Collective intelligence is powerful. That's what Facebook is doing to you. They're collecting intelligence from you and they're monetizing it, right? Now, some of you might think, well, this is not new. Well, if you didn't know what to call it, now you know to call it collective intelligence. Can you collect your own intelligence? Are you capable of collecting intelligence yourself or yourselves and then using that intelligence to predict future performance of yourself or teams or other people? If they can predict your performance, certainly the people could predict their own performance. Let's continue. What is an example of collective intelligence? The biggest, this is from study.com. Look at the irony. Because even the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. But a lot of religious people, the Christians, think the only thing you're supposed to study is the Bible. I'm telling you that's not the truth. You better study a whole lot outside of the Bible if you're going to live in this earth. Or else you will be at a loss. Right? Is the search engine Google. And by the way, I'm not minimizing the importance of the Bible. What I'm telling you is, for those of you who believe in the Bible, because I do, the Bible itself lets you know, if you have enough wisdom to see it, that you must study the truth contained in it, and then you must learn how to apply it outside in the real world, which means you're going to have to study some other things. So, individuals and organizations add small pieces of information to the internet. Look at that. And the collective intelligence of all those individuals creates a database that can solve nearly every problem. That's why you can find damn near anything you want on Google. You can't find everything. Some people think everything is online. I'm telling you it's not. At least not on the part of the internet that you can see. There are some parts of the internet that you're not allowed to access as a regular civilian. Right? Or at least I'll say as a law-abiding civilian. Let's put it that way. but you can find almost everything for your day-to-day problems and questions, right? But it creates a database. Some people think that Google is everything. You tell them to go to your website, and the dummies will look on Google and say, hey, I can't find it. It didn't show up. Well, did you go to type example.com or whatever I told you.com? No, you went and searched for it like a keyword in Google. Google is a database. It is not the whole internet. There are some websites that might not show up on the first, second, third, or even fourth or fifth page, but they actually exist. So you might want to know how to type something.com in the address bar, not just the Google search box. Here, let me show you. See this thing up here where all this long, so don't forget how to use the address bar. All right. That's why I hate when people only use mobile phones, because Google has fixed it where their search box on your phone morphs into the address bar so that you can't tell the difference between the address bar and the search box. You better learn how to get back on these damn laptops and desktops. But if you want to do everything on mobile, you will be commoditized and collected and turned into a piece of information in their database, and you will never create your own database. All right. And you will be complaining about why they have all the money and you don't. If you don't have your own database, you're never going to have the money. Or if you and your people collectively don't have your own database. So I'm giving you the game right here. If you don't control the database, you don't control the money. Now, what is collective intelligence in humans? Let's see what that's going to say. When groups of people work together, they create intelligence that cannot exist on an individual level. I hope you can see the value of this. Let's read that again. And again, I'm reading this in real time. So when I looked this up, I didn't know what these results was going to show, but I knew it was going to show some truth that we all can benefit from. When groups of people work together, that's called, you have to trust each other. How can we trust each other if we're not under a corporation that's forcing us to do our jobs? Well, maybe you need to learn how to create your own trust, right? That's the game. You got to figure out how to trust one another. Oh my goodness. If you don't trust one another, you will be under your corp. And by forever, I just mean till you can no longer work or till you die, one or the other. I'm saying you, but I'm included as well unless I apply what I'm showing here. Exactly. You know I'm going to apply. So, when groups of people work together, just by the simple act of working together, they create intelligence that cannot exist on an individual level. So if you think you know every damn thing and you all that in a bag of chips because you got a YouTube channel that's paying you because you begged YouTube to please show advertisements on my channel because I know I can't sell anything of value because I don't have a real product or service, but I can talk trash and gossip and insult people all day. And then Google will pay me for that when people watch an advertisement about a truck that none of them can afford to buy, that they're not going to buy until it's 2 or 3 years later. Right? Come on. Or it's going to be some drug commercial telling you to take this pill, right? If you have an itching skin or chest pain or something, right? And these people were rich before the internet. These pharmaceutical companies and car manufacturers, they had money already. I thought the internet was supposed to give regular people a chance to create wealth. But you wanted everything for free. And so they gave it to you free, including your intelligence. Your individual intelligence has been combined into a group in a database which these companies control, and they have created intelligence from you that cannot exist on an individual level. That means you can never compete with them. There's no way an individual can compete with an intelligence that comes from a group of people who are just as intelligent or even more intelligent than them. This is called wisdom. So I understand that on an individual level, I myself cannot compete with a group. So what should I do? Perhaps I should learn how to tap into the intelligence that these companies don't want me to have or don't think I have access to. You see? Let's continue. Making decisions as a group, forming a consensus, getting ideas from different sources, and motivating people through competition are all components of collective intelligence. That's everything they're doing to us and to you and to themselves, right? But at least they know they're doing it to themselves. At least someone like me knows what's being done to me. But if you don't know what's being done to you and with you, then you're going to always be commoditized into a product. And products cannot earn money from products. People can earn money though. If you are the product, you will never earn a dime. You have to learn how to not only be the product, but create a product so the product can pay you. Alrighty then. So I'm going to read this one more time because this is fascinating to me. I hope it's as fascinating to you as it is to me because I love the idea of intelligence and collective intelligence and human innovation. See, I value human innovation more than I do artificial intelligence. Because human innovation, your living soul that is able to think, is the creation of God, which means it's powerful. Making decisions as a group, forming a consensus, getting ideas from different sources, and motivating people through competition. That's why you like sports so much, because it's competition. That's why people can make money with these channels talking about dating. Men need to do this, women need to do that. Men are right and women are wrong. Women are right and men are wrong, because men and women are competing so they can prove who's right. And nobody's ever going to prove the other one right or wrong. They're going to continue to argue forever. And in between those arguments, YouTube can show you an advertisement. And that person can get paid, and they will never, ever, never, ever, ever, never solve your dating problem. You were single when you started watching it, and you still single after the videos are over. All right. So competition included are all components of collective intelligence. See, now this site, which you would never type, you would never go to it because you're probably too lazy or too nonchalant or too unimpressed by intelligence to even type it. See, I typed collective intelligence into the search engine. But now that I know this site is www.organizationalpsychologydegrees.com, that's a long domain name, isn't it? That's a long website name. But if you value intelligence, you might type that whole thing out. People today so lazy, they don't even want to type a website name. They just want Google to suggest to them what to do. You can't make this stuff up. So if you're too lazy to type words out and go to a specific source, then you deserve for Google to make all the money and for you to stay broke and poor. Now, am I against using the search engine? Of course not. But I am against using the search engine and then letting it use you, and then you don't learn how to use it to your benefit. It's benefiting from you whether you want it to or not. So at least learn how to make it benefit you by means of creating intelligence for yourself, which can allow you to create more wealth. Okay, I don't want to read that one because that has something in there that is intended to be deceptive, although it looks like it's true. Well, maybe I will show you. I'm going to show you how they deceive you too, right? What are the 4 principles of collective intelligence, assuming that it has only 4 principles? See, I'm going to show you something else. When you see an article titled something like this, It doesn't mean that it only has 4 principles. That's just a catchy phrase to get you to click on it. It's not wrong. I'm just telling you that's what they do. You ever notice all these titles? 7 reasons why you should do this. 6 reasons why you're losing. 9 reasons why a business fails. 3 reasons why your relationship is not working. There could be 10 reasons. They're just putting whatever they got to put for you to click, because the collective intelligence they have gained from their market research and from their Google Analytics tells them that you will type or you will click on something if they type those words. All right, according to theorists Don Tapscott and Anthony Williams, collective intelligence is an outcome of group behavior. They categorize as mass collaborations. Collaboration, that's why you hear me saying the masses do this and the masses do that. You got to learn to act outside of the masses. If all of your action is the same of the masses, you will never get any different results than what you're getting. All right, that is founded upon 4 distinct principles. What I'm sharing with you in this video is quite different than what anybody else would share. And that's because I want to attract a different audience and I want a different result. It might be hard to even get views on this video. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm okay with that, because the group that I want to form around me doesn't have to be large. It could be just a small group of us that could make a massive impact. And we wouldn't even have to tell anybody we're doing it, because we would be doing it in secret. Can't make this stuff up. So then they tell you here that the 4 principles of collective intelligence begin with openness. Well, I would say it might begin with openness and it might not. If you're too open, you're giving away secrets that you should keep. See, I knew it was going to do that. I didn't want to click on that. That was an accident. I bet you Google and Facebook are not going to be totally open with all of their algorithms. They're not going to open up all of their secrets to show you how they make their money. So you might not need to be so open, but you can be somewhat open, like what I'm being right now. I'm being open and showing you what's being done to you, through you, in you, around you, before you, after you, over you, and under you. All right, peering, sharing. Peering and sharing seem like they should be the same thing. Sharing with your peers. But maybe they break it down to a subset of data. And acting globally. Yeah, whatever. So as far as I'm going with that, let's see here. What are some examples of collective intelligence in human behavior? That seems important. The best known collective intelligence projects. You know, a project is an experiment, like a lab, a project, or political parties. So whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you are in a political party, you are part of a collective intelligence project, which mobilize large numbers of people to form policy, select candidates, and to finance and run election campaigns. They're getting wealth. See? So even the political parties use collective intelligence to finance something, to get wealth. That's why your rights are on the back burner. Their first goal is to create wealth for themselves. Then after they create wealth for themselves, then they might, emphasis on might, maybe, possibly, do some small act of kindness for you so that they can convince you that voting is going to save you, which it is not. I'm not telling you don't ever vote. I'm not telling you not to vote. But you better learn to do what they do. Create some finance. Because that's what's going to help you more than voting. Politicians work for a paycheck. They work for money. The police work for a paycheck. Look at the irony. Policy and police is only one letter different. Corporate policy, the word policy, replace the Y with the E and you have police. Police work for corporations. They work for cities and states, which are businesses, corporations. They don't work for white people. They don't work for black people. They work for the bank that will cash their check. They work for the company that wrote the check. So if you want the police to treat you fairly, maybe you should be the ones that are writing the police's paycheck. And if they don't treat your people fairly, then you can fire them. Facts. The real way to solve the problem with the police, whether it's racism or not, see, we don't got to argue about that. If you fire them, they're going to learn a lesson. But you can't fire them when you're giving all your money to a government and then it hires the police that it wants to hire. You need your own police force that you hire, that you control. That's supposed to be with your tax dollars. So tell me why they are hiring people in your neighborhood that you can't control. This is talking mostly to black people, so-called black people, right? But for the few white people who may have a problem with them, it's the same thing. Police work for a paycheck. They don't work for people. They say they serve and protect. See how much serving and protecting they're going to do if you take away their paycheck and their pension. They're going to quit the same day, the same hour they're going to quit that they find out that you're not going to pay them. So they work for a paycheck so they can take care of themselves and or their families like everybody else does. So if you want to control them, you got to figure out a way to be the one that writes their check or at least have control over whether they get that check or not. Otherwise, they're going to continue to treat you like shit. And your marching and protesting don't mean a damn thing until you touch their money or their freedom, right? So anyway, they should serve and protect the people, but I'm telling you, they work for a paycheck first, just like these politicians. All right? See, this is called truth. Look, this is called intelligence. One could say it's collective intelligence, right? But who works for free? Look, the laborer is worthy of his hire. You can't make this stuff up. So a good police officer deserves to get paid. A bad police officer deserves to be fired. And depending on how bad they are, they should be in prison. Possibly, right? Let's see what else they may have on here. Because I'm not going to do this in perpetuity. Let's see, collective intelligence skills. Okay, we kind of know that already. All right, so I think you get the point. Somebody asked, is collective intelligence a real thing? Of course it's a real thing. It's the same article we read. It's certainly a real thing. Look, how do you get collective intelligence? That's a good question. Collaboration. You can't have collaboration unless you have some unity with your peers. But most of you only want to unite as an employee under a company that's already rich. And that's the only reason you trust them. But then when they mistreat you, you complain about that same company. But would you be willing to collaborate with someone like me? Would you be willing to collaborate with someone who's not already a billionaire corporation or a multi-million-dollar corporation that you supposedly trust, but then you're going to bitch and complain about them 6 months later when they don't pay you enough and you go on strike? You can't make this stuff up. So I'm going to find a small group of people to collaborate with so that we can have some collective intelligence and then we can get rich. I'm just making it plain. My plan is to get rich, create wealth. Yes, because God wants me to do so. God never told me, my son, be thou poor and in poverty, and I will be pleased. I never read a verse in the Bible where God said, be thou in poverty, and thou shalt inherit the kingdom of heaven. That's a damn lie from the Christian missionaries, which I have shown. And it was a racist lie. That's what the Christian missionaries told our brothers and sisters in Africa And that's what they told our brothers and sisters on the plantation in the Americas. Facts. Don't believe me? Oh, let me pull this up. You've seen it on my other video, you have seen it, but let me show you here. I'm going to show you the purpose of Christianity. And then we'll close out. Right? I'm going to show you why people reading the Bible calling themselves Christians, especially you so-called Negroes, right? It is racism, but the real problem in this fake religion, Christianity, is what they use to enslave you, right? Letter from King Leopold II of Belgium to colonial missionaries. Let's get straight to it. Your principal objective, he's saying the Christian ministers, the Christian missionaries' principal objective, the main reason that they went to Africa in the Congo. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the niggers to know God. This they know already. Facts. I hope this doesn't offend anyone. I'm reading to you what the letter stated. And this letter is from approximately 1883. See? This is an official document. From the government over there. You see? Never teach the niggers to know God. This they know already. So I don't need anybody telling me to know God. Because we know as so-called Negroes, we already basically know what's right. But what we don't know is how to create wealth and keep it. So that's what we should be focused on. Now, look. They know that to kill or murder, right? To sleep with someone else's wife, that's adultery. To lie and to insult is bad. We do know that. But do we know how to create wealth in this country, in this United States, and in the Americas? If we knew how to create wealth, why do we only control 4% of the wealth in this country, but make up 13.4% or almost 14% of the population? It stands to reason that if we are almost 14% of the population as of December 2020, the article I read, then we need to at least control approximately 14% of the wealth. But since we don't, that's why our people are poor and suffering and stealing and carjacking and doing crime. Because if you're broke and poor, you're eventually going to steal so you can get what you need. Facts. But the church wants you to be all spiritual, like God wants you to be broke and poor, which is a damn lie. Let's continue. Look, let's collect this intelligence. I got some collective intelligence for your ass, right? Let's collect this intelligence. Your knowledge of the gospel, look, this is what he told the Christian missionaries, will allow you to find the text. In other words, find the scriptures in the Bible that order and encourage your followers to love poverty. You can't make this up. So they intentionally pick scriptures that make you think God wants you to be poor. Happier are the poor because they will inherit the heaven. That's a lie. That's talking about poor in spirit, not poor in your damn wallet. It's very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. Yes, and it's also very difficult for somebody to enter the kingdom of God while they're stealing because their ass is poor. So poverty is not the way to get to heaven either. So, let's keep going now. I'll show you one more thing, just in case you think I'm on the wrong track. No, you're the one that's wrong if you think God wants you to be poor. But yet every problem you have is caused by poverty and the lies which they told you. Watch this here. Convert always the blacks. That means the same people they just got through calling niggers, Negroes, right? Convert them by using the whip. It means whip them, beat their asses. Convert them to Christianity by whipping their black asses. That's what this is saying in this letter. So King Leopold II of Belgium was a devil, and he was very evil. He was worse than Adolf Hitler. He killed about 10 million Africans or Negroes in the Congo. That's worse than the Holocaust. Why don't you ever hear about that? 10 million people. And he cut off their hands and feet and did all kind of wicked. Boy, it was terrible. Let me just keep reading. Keep their women in 9 months of submission to work freely for us. Force them to pay you in sign of recognition. Goats, chicken, or eggs every time you visit their villages. And make sure that niggers never become rich. That is the purpose of the Christian mission in Africa and in the Americas to you niggers, to you Negroes, to you blacks. So if you're a Caucasian or a white person listening to this, understand that we know what that Christian mission was about when you came to our people. Now, if you're not a racist who believes in teaching that, then this message is not talking to you directly. But that was evil what your people did, and this is proof that that's what they did. So now I'm telling you, whether you black or white, anybody at church making you feel guilty about wanting to get rich is a damn liar, and you shouldn't listen to them. Facts. Now watch this here. I'm going to show you one more thing. Look, this is some collective intelligence we can have as a group. Let's collect this intelligence for their pimp in the pulpit asses and these fake ass pastors that are getting rich by keeping you poor. It says make them pay tax each week at Sunday Mass. You know what that tax was? Tithing. Tithing is a tax that they don't want you to know about. Right? Make them pay tax each week at Sunday Mass. That's your Catholic church. So it's the Catholics and the regular Christian. And watch this here. Use the money, use that tithing money that they thought was going up to heaven, that they thought that 10% was going up to Jesus Christ. Use the money supposed for the poor to build flourishing business centers. So you know what they're using your tithing money for today? Those business centers, you know what that is today? I'm going to show you what it is today. It is for the collective intelligence that Facebook, YouTube, and Google and all these other companies use. It is for these flourishing businesses here, which is why I started off looking at these businesses. See? Your tithing money is going to JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, because when you pay tithes, the money goes to the bank, and these banks are investing your money. Just like Berkshire Hathaway invest your insurance premiums. It invests the float, meaning the extra money that they don't have to spend for their company expenses. By the way, insurance companies keep their money in the bank. Banks are backed up by insurance companies, so they work together. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop this video right here. I think I've made my point. I hope you watched the whole video, because if you did, it can change your perspective on social media and businesses in this United States in general. It can start to wake you up so you can understand that you deserve to be paid for your labor. And also, I deserve to be paid for my labor. Right? Stop thinking everything should be free, because these companies are getting paid off of your ass whether you know it or not. Even when you pay tithes at church, that money is going to support all these businesses one way or another. And if you don't believe that, then you can stay stupid. Right? See, now you're not ignorant. If you've watched this video, you are no longer ignorant, because now you know what's going on. You might need to watch it a second time and a third time. You might need to take some notes. You might need to research some of what I showed you and see if it's true. All of these companies are getting their monies from the bank in the form of loans and finance and investments, stock trading, options, all of that. And a great deal of that comes from these tithes and offerings that you give to the church. And that same damn church teaches you that Jesus wants you to be poor, but then he wants you to take care of your family at the same time. How the hell are you going to provide for your family if you're poor and broke? I'm out.